Now I have Duncan Lugstein of Corporate Technology Services, also known as CTS, with me today. Thank you very much for coming along.
Thank you for the invite, Renee. How are you?
Very well, thanks. I thought I might kick off with what your impression of the campus is already, just going around and looking at the facilities.
I haven't seen the full campus yet, and I'm pretty excited to have a look at that. But I've had some, obviously had a look around at what I can on the floor and had a good chat with Tej and Chris, and it's pretty good. I mean, what's impressive, not only the facilities, but also the quality of lecturers too.
And tell me a little bit about Corporate Technology Services. What kind of work do you do that plugs into SAE students?
Sure. Look, our vision is to help people connect and facilitate results. And I guess the key point of that is not only connecting gear, but connecting with our audience and wider people that may be through music or just a message. And that's really what SAE is about, is, I guess, training students to help in that part, be it with audio production, which we do. We do consulting and design, but we also do on-site services at large corporations. And a lot of that is not only connecting the gear for them and making sure video conferences, webcasts, satellite connections and go correct, but just connecting also personally. And I guess that creativity that I've just been hearing Scott Jones talk about, and I guess trying to bridge that gap between what people are taught here and the wider community within work, that's where we see a fantastic connection with SAE.
And tell me a little bit about the history. Like, what were some of the first interns that you had? What kind of work were they doing? What are you looking for in an intern?
All right. Well, I guess we've had, we're up to 6 or 7 interns now, of which we've offered jobs, 1 full-time job and 2 casuals. And we've got 2 other interns with us right now. And I guess what we're looking for is not only the technical skills, which are fantastic, and the guys seem to know, and girls, what they're learning here and how to adapt that in the workplace. But it's the attitude, I guess. And this is when we've been dealing with Mia, our workplace, the SAE workplace program manager here. That's what she's been looking for, and they have she has a big eye and focus on that, and that's what's fantastic, because that's the big bridge between, I guess, where we work and the education space.
And Minjae Jin, can you tell me about his internship in particular, and what is it about his work that is quite special?
Sure. Look, when Minjae came to us, he worked in the production area, and what he was essentially involved in was setting up, bumping and setting up, and on some occasions helping operate some events. And I guess what we saw in him was not only that technical capability, but that personality. And those of you who are listening who perhaps know Minjae know that his smile and just that personable side of him. So in a corporate space where we're essentially technicians in suits, that makes a big difference. So that's what we saw in Minjae, yeah.
And when it comes to, I suppose, the soft skills that students also need to learn to make them really valuable employees, what are some of those that you really look for?
Manners and good body, wear deodorant and things like that. They're some of the basic essentials. But look, it's really not that different to just being normal people who relate to people. I think it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It's just a matter of how you relate to people. But I guess particularly in an environment where it's more techie, and let's face it, all of us love playing with the gadgets, and we'd rather be in a room with a whole bunch of sound desks or cameras, etc., than people. But just being able to invite people, yes, you're there to serve them and help them with what they're doing, but to invite them into a bit of your world and how you help them and what's important about what you do. There's some real great attributes that we look for, that open-mindedness and that attitude and that vibe for what you're doing.
Duncan, that's great advice with some great insights for students. So thank you very much for your time here with me at Energy Groove Radio. And next up, we have The Preachers with Girlhood.